You speak, no one hears. You act, someone else gets the credit. You exist, but they ignore you. Invisible, overlooked, ignored. And it's not loud rejection that cuts, it's quiet dismissal. It sneaks in, small at first, then builds, pressing against your chest. The colleague who talks over you in meetings, the friend group that makes plans without asking, the family member who seeks everyone's opinion except yours, the romantic interest who keeps you as an option while pursuing someone else. Each moment alone seems minor. Together, they leave you questioning your worth. So instinct kicks in. You try harder, you speak louder, you prove yourself, you demand recognition. And yet, every effort to be seen is swallowed, leaving you doubting yourself, missing opportunities, questioning your place. Mini rehook. Most people never realize this, but it changes everything. Desperation for attention doesn't work. It pushes respect further away. Every chase, every plea, every reaction you give, someone else benefits, not you. Ask yourself, if your worth is real, why does it need to be announced? The Stoics understood something profound. True power is not in how others see you. Power is in how you respond when they don't. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Stop performing, stop reacting, stop seeking validation." Suddenly, silence and restraint become weapons. You're not seen for noise anymore. You're seen for presence. Mini rehook. Every reaction you skip is a victory they can't take. Emotional control is underrated mastery. Calm when others panic, silence when others rage, steady when others spiral. That's how you become magnetic. Not through force, not through performance, but through self-command. And then it happens. The same people who ignored you begin to notice. They can't name it, they just feel it. You don't bend, you don't break, you exist on your own terms. Before revealing the Stoic laws of emotional control, feel this tension. You want to lash out, you want to be seen, you want the world to acknowledge you. That instinct is natural, that instinct is useless. Real power is quiet, unshakable, unstoppable. Internal revolution, transformation that changes everything external. If mastering your emotions can make the world take notice, imagine what happens when you finally stop needing their approval entirely.
You react, they win. You speak, they take credit. But it doesn't have to be this way, and here's why. Every journey of transformation begins with a declaration. Not for me, not for anyone watching, but for the version of yourself that's about to change. Write it down. I am the master of my emotions. Say it, mean it. This is your first step. Law 1. Stop reacting, start responding. Most people merge the two. Something happens, emotion surges, words or actions immediately follow. That's reaction. Automatic, emotional, often regrettable. Response is different. Response creates space. Space between what happens and how you act. In that space lies power. Pause once, change everything. Take Daniel, a corporate finance professional, brilliant with numbers, but explosive in meetings. A simple question would make his voice rise, face flush, arguments fly. People avoided him, not for his work, which was excellent, but because interacting with him felt like walking through a minefield. His manager said, "Your skills are outstanding, but your reactions are limiting your career. People don't want to work with someone who might explode at any moment." Daniel was stunned. He thought defending his work made him strong. Instead, it made him look out of control. React, and you're controlled. Respond, and you control yourself. He started a simple practice. Before answering, he'd take 3 full breaths, just 3. In that short window, he noticed anger rising, fear of looking weak. Then he could choose fear or reason. Within months, everything changed. Questions were met with calm clarity. "Good question. Let me walk you through my methodology." Or, I hadn't considered that angle. Give me a day to review. His skill hadn't changed, his presence had. People sought his input, trusted him with bigger responsibilities. Pause once, change everything. The promotion he'd been chasing for years came within 6 months. The Stoic principle is simple. You can't control them. You can't control what happens, but you can control how you respond. Epictetus taught we are disturbed not by events, but by our view of events. Identify your triggers: criticism, disrespect, interruptions, feeling undervalued. Write them down. Commit to one action before responding. Pause. Count to 3. Take 3 breaths. Create space where there was none. Every pause isn't hesitation, it's power reclaiming itself. Every decision to respond is freedom earned. Every pause you take isn't hesitation, it's power waiting to strike. Will you let it define you, or let your reactions define you? You rush to speak, you lose control. You fill every silence, you show weakness. What if silence could make you unstoppable? At first, your body will resist. Your nervous system is wired for instant reaction. Pausing feels like weakness, vulnerability, danger. That's the old you, predictable, readable, easy to manipulate. The new you understands the pause isn't weakness, it's mastery. You're not suppressing emotion, you're choosing if it serves you. Anger can be right, stern words can be needed, but when chosen from calm awareness, they carry weight. People who once talked over you will wait for your response. You think before speaking, you act with intention, you reveal only what you choose. Law 2. Master the pause. Silence is the most underrated weapon in human interaction. Not the silent treatment, not awkward silence. I'm talking deliberate, powerful silence, the kind that draws attention, that creates gravity. Most people fear silence. They rush to fill gaps, believing talking equals value. They're wrong. Excessive talking shows insecurity. Desperate talking shows need for validation. Silence shows strength. Take Sarah. She worked in sales for years, knowledgeable, enthusiastic, likable, but her numbers lagged. Her manager observed her calls. Within minutes, it was clear she couldn't tolerate silence. The moment she finished a pitch, she kept talking, answering questions not asked, creating solutions that weren't needed. She thought she was thorough. She was sabotaging herself. Pause. Feel the power in silence. Her manager's advice was simple. After presenting the offer, stop talking. Let them sit with it. Count to 30 if needed. Do not speak first. Sarah tried it. On her next call, she presented the solution, stated the price, and stayed silent. Her palms sweated. Her mind screamed, "Say something, anything." Then the client spoke. "When can we start?" That deal was the first of many. Her close rate doubled, not because her pitch improved, but because silence gave the client space to convince themselves. Pause, change everything. The Stoics understood this. Seneca wrote, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." More than listening, silence signals power. Pause before responding to insults, provocations, or questions. Your words then carry weight. Your presence commands respect. Practice. Pause 2 seconds after someone speaks. Extend to 5 or 10. Maintain eye contact. Stay relaxed. Watch the power shift. Sit alone. No phone, no music, just silence. Your mind will rebel, create noise. Practice until you can sit peacefully. Master your own silence, and you become unshakable in others' presence. Control your silence, and you control everything around you.
Stop chasing approval, and they'll notice you. Silence, restraint, detachment. It commands attention. They'll wonder what you're thinking. They'll value your words more when they come. They'll respect your calm and regret every time they assumed you had nothing to say. Law 3. Detach from outcomes. Anxiety about being ignored, obsession with validation, it comes from attachment.
attachment to how others see you, attachment to specific results. Attachment to praise makes you weak. That attachment hands your peace to forces beyond your control. The Stoics taught suffering comes from wanting things different than they are. When you're attached to outcomes, acknowledgement, praise, you make your emotions hostage. True freedom comes from detachment, not indifference. You still care, you still try, you still engage, but your inner stability doesn't depend on results. Take Marcus. For 3 years, he chased a promotion, worked overtime, volunteered for extra projects, made his ambition obvious. Every review that didn't bring promotion felt like rejection. He grew bitter, complained about colleagues, analyzed every interaction for approval. He wasn't working, he was begging. Then something shifted. His mentor said, "You're trying to control what you cannot control. Focus on mastery, not outcomes. Excellence is its own reward. Promotion or not, your growth doesn't need validation." Marcus tried it. He focused on mastery, helped colleagues without calculating credit, shared ideas without tracking recognition. 3 months in, no more desperation. Conversations weren't pitches. His competence and calmness stood out. 6 months later, he got the promotion, but more importantly, he reacted with calm gratitude, not relief or validation. He'd already detached from needing it. Pause. The less you need, the more they notice. Epictetus wrote, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." Focus on effort, not outcomes. Setbacks become information, nothing more. Practice. Identify outcomes you're attached to. Do the work, release results. Watch what grows. Plant, water, tend. Don't control the bloom. You do your part excellently, then accept whatever grows. When you stop needing approval, you stop appearing needy. When you stop appearing needy, people find you more valuable. Those who ignored you before notice now. Your detachment creates mystery. Stop seeking validation and watch the world chase you. Your calm in rejection earns respect. Your excellence, noticed or not, earns admiration. Watch as they regret dismissing you. Law 4. Transform rejection into redirection. Every rejection is information, a gift if you choose to see it. It's not judgment on your worth, it's feedback about fit, timing, or approach. Obstacles aren't barriers, they point you toward better paths. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Each rejection shows where you don't fit, freeing you to find where you do. It highlights weaknesses you can strengthen, shows who deserves your energy. Most people react, "I'm not good enough." Shame, withdrawal, spiral. Each rejection feels heavier than the last. The Stoic approach is different. Rejection occurs, path closed, curiosity, adjust, try again. Each rejection becomes data, not destiny. Take Anna. She wrote a novel and submitted it to literary agents. 43 rejections in 8 months. 43. Most would give up, spiral into self-doubt. Anna didn't. She analyzed each rejection. Patterns emerged, pacing, protagonist depth, rushed ending. She didn't see attacks, she saw free consulting. She revised, not because she thought the book was terrible, but because there was room to improve. 6 months later, she submitted again. 3 agents requested the full manuscript. 1 offered representation. The book sold the following year. What Anna understood, those 43 rejections weren't saying, "You're not a writer." They were guides toward better craft, toward aligned opportunities, toward persistence. Practical, not mystical. What can I learn to get stronger? Practice. Pause after rejection. Ask, lesson? Next move? Treat it as a map, not a verdict. Each no points toward your yes. Follow rejection and watch obstacles turn into your greatest advantage.
Ignored, dismissed, rejected. What if every no was actually a gift, pushing you towards something better? Every rejection is information. Someone ignores your input in a meeting, maybe your delivery needs work, or maybe they aren't worth your energy. A romantic interest says no, they've saved you from giving your value to someone who doesn't recognize it. You don't get the job? It's feedback. Either you need more skills or that role wasn't your fit. Notice this, it's all information. Here's how to use it. Implement the 24-hour rule. Feel whatever comes up, disappointment, anger, hurt. Don't suppress it. After 24 hours, shift to analysis mode. Ask, what can I learn? Where is this redirecting me? How can I grow? Write it down. Look for patterns. Repeated feedback? That's worth addressing. Vague or inconsistent? It's about fit, not flaws. Rejection becomes your compass, guiding you away from what won't serve you toward what will. Stop asking, why don't they want me? Start asking, why would I want to be where I'm not valued? That question changes everything, moving you from supplicant to evaluator. Their rejection becomes your choice of where you give energy. Your energy, your gifts, their loss. Confidence that doesn't crumble is magnetic. When you genuinely embody this mindset, people sense it. Rejections decrease naturally. The people who ignored you when you were desperate will regret it, seeing you thrive without approval. Law 5. Forge yourself through voluntary discomfort. Comfort builds nothing. Challenge builds everything. The Stoics called it voluntary hardship, choosing difficulty to strengthen yourself. Sleeping on hard surfaces, eating simple meals, exposing yourself to cold, giving up easy pleasures, not as punishment, but as training. Why? Because when you practice small pains voluntarily, the big challenges of life become manageable. You learn to endure, to thrive, to remain calm when discomfort is unavoidable. Every voluntary challenge strengthens your emotional armor. Every rejection becomes fuel. Every no becomes a step toward mastery. Embrace rejection, face discomfort, and watch the world can no longer ignore you.
Ignored discomfort, tolerated discomfort, mastered discomfort. Modern life is soft. Too hot? Adjust the thermostat. Too bored? Scroll endlessly. Too anxious? Numb it. Your mind, your emotions, obey comfort. We've made ourselves fragile. When minor discomfort feels unbearable, emotions control you. Anger, sadness, anxiety, disappointment, all uncomfortable. If you immediately escape, you'll never sit with them without reacting. Discomfort is training. Tyler was reactive. A slight insult, a sarcastic comment, he retaliated immediately. Biting words, passive aggression, confrontation. He couldn't tolerate disrespect, so he acted impulsively. His therapist suggested physical discomfort first, cold showers, 5 minutes of deliberately uncomfortable water. First attempt, 90 seconds. His body screamed, his mind argued, yet he persisted. Eventually, 5 minutes became manageable, not comfortable, manageable. He learned discomfort doesn't equal danger. His nervous system adapted. Then came emotional discomfort. Someone insulted him, he paused. He let anger rise, burn, and fade without acting. The first times were almost unbearable, the urge to lash out overwhelming, but he'd trained his mind. Discomfort passes if you don't flee. 6 months later, Tyler was unrecognizable. Provocateurs no longer worked. He'd observe anger, notice it peak, watch it subside, then choose calm. People stopped trying to provoke him.
He built an inner citadel, a core impervious to external events. How to start? Begin with physical discomfort, cold showers, fasting, intense exercise, sitting still without distractions. Something uncomfortable but safe. Do it regularly. Notice the mind rebel, then continue anyway. Extend to emotional discomfort, anger, jealousy, anxiety. Observe without acting. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Feel it in your body. Can you tolerate it without fixing, numbing, or reacting immediately? Practice delayed gratification. Small discomforts voluntarily endured prepare you for life's unavoidable challenges. Every minor trial strengthens your emotional armor. Discomfort builds nothing. Challenge builds everything. Discomfort tolerated becomes mastery. Emotions rise, you remain calm, they stop controlling you. Embrace discomfort and your mind, your emotions become unshakable, your presence unstoppable, the world's chaos irrelevant. You are your own citadel.
Desire strikes. Pause. Check your phone. Wait. Reply to a message. Wait. Impulse to buy. Wait. Every pause builds mastery over yourself. You're training to tolerate discomfort, to sit with unmet desire, and strengthen emotional control. The next level, social discomfort. Have the awkward conversation, set the hard boundary, say no when pressure mounts. Each time you choose temporary discomfort over long-term resentment, your emotional core grows. They'll try to provoke old patterns. When they don't appear, you remain unshakable. Manipulation fails, emotional blackmail fails, social pressure fails. Your energy, their loss. The people who dismissed you for being reactive or emotional, they'll notice the change. Respect comes not because you demanded it, but because you earned it through self-mastery. Law 6. Speak less, observe more. True influence comes not from words, but from understanding. The people who talk the most often say the least. Constant commentary is a nervous habit, a bid for attention that usually backfires. Observation gives insight, not power. Talk less, observe deeply, wield quiet influence. Watch, you understand what others reveal. Most conversations, two people waiting to speak. Neither listens, both plan their next line. Everyone talks, no one connects. Everyone expresses, no one understands. I learned this from my grandmother. They argued, she listened. They interrupted, she observed. While others competed for airtime, she stayed silent and attentive. She saw it all, heard it all, understood it all. Afterward, family members sought her out. They wanted her opinion because it was thoughtful, because she never spoke impulsively. When you talk less, observe deeply, wield quiet influence, you gain insight, respect, and silent power.
I asked her once, why speak so little? She smiled. Everyone tells you exactly who they are if you just pay attention. Observation is data collection. The more you observe, the wiser you act. Not just to influence, but to protect yourself, spot opportunities, avoid traps. Epictetus taught, be slow to speak, slower to form opinions. Most speech is unnecessary. Unnecessary words weaken your impact. Selective words carry weight. Practice this. Speak 2/3 as much as usual. Pause 3 seconds after someone finishes. Process, don't plan your reply. Ask questions, not statements. Tell me more about that works better than launching into your story.
Your pause shifts the energy. They lean in, reveal more. The room subtly changes. Notice what happens. First, people are surprised, used to automatic responses. Second, they speak more, giving information they wouldn't share otherwise. Third, they remember you because you made them feel heard. In meetings, observe first. Watch interactions. Notice who interrupts, who decides, who just fills space. When you speak, make it count. One thoughtful comment carries more weight than 10 hasty ones. In conflicts, this skill is essential. The calm observer notices what others miss. They see the real issue beneath surface arguments. They recognize anger as hurt, defensiveness as fear. This awareness lets you de-escalate or exit wisely. Ultimate practice: speak only when necessary. Answer questions, fulfill obligations, avoid commentary, opinions, filler stories. What if words couldn't hurt you? Not insults, not criticism, nothing. What would that do to your presence? You still connect, but through presence, not performance. You still contribute through insight, not noise. When you speak only when it matters, colleagues lean in, friends listen, even rivals pause. Your words carry weight. Once your words matter, your reaction to what others say matters even more, which brings us to Law 7, become indifferent to insults. Law 7, insults. An insult only has the power you give it. Words are just sound waves. They only hurt if you grab them and let them cut you. Most people react: anger, defense, counterattack. They hand the insulter exactly what they wanted. Imagine hearing every insult and feeling nothing. That's freedom. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been." This isn't denial or suppression. It's knowing your interpretation creates your experience. Called a giraffe, you'd blink, maybe laugh, not get offended. Words only wound if you believe them. Called incompetent, stupid, worthless, those words reveal the speaker, not you. You can reject their assessment, just like rejecting the giraffe label. Most people can't do this. They secretly fear the insult might be true, and that's where the real wound lives, not in the words, but in your own uncertainty about yourself. The moment you stop fearing what others say, you stand in any room, unshaken, unaffected, respected, without saying a word.
If you're secure, incompetent rolls off like water. If insecure, it cuts like a knife. James worked in a high-pressure trading floor. Insults flew constantly. Intelligence, competence, masculinity, nothing was off-limits. Every insult met with defense. He thought respect came from fighting back. Every day felt like combat. He went home drained, replaying insults, crafting comebacks. Then a senior trader pulled him aside. "Want to survive here? Stop caring when they insult you. They're chasing a reaction. When you don't give it, they lose interest." Notice this. Power shifts the moment you don't react. Next insult. Jaw clenched, heart racing, ready to strike. He remembered the advice. He said, "Okay." The insulter blinked, confused. Next attempt, he shrugged. "You might be right." The insulter tried harder, then gave up. Punching air has no satisfaction. Months passed. James became unshakable. Provocateurs tested him. He remained calm, genuine indifference. People stopped trying. Why waste energy on someone it doesn't affect? His reputation shifted from aggressive trader to composed professional. Management noticed. 18 months later, promoted because of his temperament. Here's what you need to understand. The person who cannot be provoked
cannot be controlled. Insults that don't land remove the insulter's power. Practice this. Next insult, pause. 3 breaths. Ask yourself, is this true? If yes, what can I learn? If no, why adopt their opinion? Does this person even matter? Usually, the answer is no. Most insults come from misunderstanding, projection, or ignorance. Giving their words control, you hand over your inner world. Advanced practice. Pause, observe, wait. Ask, why do you think that? Curiosity disrupts expectation. Often, they can't explain. Reflex, not judgment. Exposed, the insult deflates completely. Final mastery. Thank them. Your calm is power. Their insult? Air.
I appreciate your perspective delivered without sarcasm. This requires significant emotional control, and it's devastating. You've taken their weapon and turned it into a gift. They can't hurt you with something you openly accept, even thank them for it, without giving them power. When you develop genuine indifference to insults, not fake indifference where you're secretly hurt, but real indifference where their words genuinely don't affect your inner state, you become formidable. People notice. Those who dismissed you as too sensitive, too reactive, too easy to hurt, they'll regret it when they realize you've built emotional armor they can't penetrate. Not because you're cold or defensive, but because you've understood at a deep level other people's opinions, especially hostile ones, don't define your reality. You define your reality. When you truly own that, you become someone who cannot be ignored because you've stopped caring whether they notice or not. That paradox, caring less yet commanding more, is ultimate power. These 7 laws work together to create transformation from the inside out. You're not performing confidence or pretending to be unbothered. You're actually rewiring your nervous system, rebuilding your responses, and redefining your relationship with external validation. The people who ignored you before, they weren't seeing the real you. They saw someone ruled by reactions, desperate for acknowledgement, easily provoked, controllable. But the person you become, mastering emotional control, staying calm under pressure, speaking selectively, indifferent to insult, detached from outcome, commands natural respect, not demanded, not performed, simply present. When those same people encounter this new version of you, something shifts. They lean in instead of looking past. They seek your opinion instead of dismissing it. They respect your silence. They regret ignoring you, not because of them, but because of you. They finally see what they missed. Now, do one final thing. Go back to the comment you left at the beginning. I am the master of my emotions. Read it again. That wasn't just a statement, it was a commitment. Every practice, your tool to honor that commitment. You won't master them all at once. This is long-term character building, not a quick fix. But every time you pause before reacting, every time you choose silence over noise, every time you sit with discomfort instead of fleeing it, you strengthen that truth. Your calm becomes contagious, your presence untouchable. Every pause, every choice builds unshakable strength. Subscribe, share, return whenever you need the reminder. See you in the next video. And remember, you don't need permission. You just stop asking and become unshakable. Also, check out my last video. This Stoic mindset makes you mentally unbreakable. Dive deeper and start building a mind no one can shake.